Okay, so we did the intro before. This is where we left it. I mean, that was only 20 seconds ago. So what I want to do now is I want to make a copy of the servo, of the little servo motors. So before we can incorporate these into our design, we really want to see what they would look like in our design. So I'm going to start with this, and let's make one of these. So, okay, so let me just get rid of everything that's in here because I just assumed start over. Okay, and that goes away. So the first thing that I want to do is I got calipers, so I can make a measurement. And this is millimeters, so I've got this. And we've got this basic cube shape to start with. So let's just start that. It is, it's cube. So let me just do that. Cube. And X dimension is going to be 22.5. Y dimension, I'm going to hold it this way. So Y dimension is going to be front back. Okay, that's going to be, looks like about 12.3. Okay, and the height, now it's got the round piece on the top. I'm going to ignore that for the moment. I'm just going to go to the height of the main part of it because we want to actually model the whole thing. And that looks like it's about 22.5 also. Close that, hit the 5. Okay, so there's the body. We've got these wings on the sides. I need to put those on there too. Everything is additive. So if I just make a whole piece that's big enough for it, let me make another cube. And, we're going to have to use the translate. So let me just put that in there first. And I'm just going to put in zeros because I know I'm going to need it, but I don't want to put it in there yet. Cube. And the X dimension, I was holding it this way. So X dimension is now 32.5. That bracket 32.5. Y dimension, that's the same as the other one. That's 12.3. Z dimension. This thing's really thin. This thing is only 2. Let's say 2.3. Okay, so when I hit the F5, there it is. Okay, so it's not in the right spot. We got it in there, but it's just not where we want it to be. It needs to be slid over about half of what's left of up here. Now we know that this is the X direction, so we know that the cube is 22.5. This is 32.5. So this is 10 millimeters more. So I really want to slide it over 5 millimeters. So let me go 5. Oh, wrong way. Put a minus sign. Okay. That looks good, except for it's not quite where I want it to be. It still has to go up. So, micrometer, I want the bottom of that piece to be, and if I just hold it just about right, some of this just has to be really close. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're something like 16. So if I just translate it 16 in the that's not bad. Okay. No, it's got 2 holes in it. Remember we did that last time. We had the difference command for that. So if I come in here and remember it's really hard to find stuff if we don't do that. Let me put the cylinder in first. We know it's going to be we need to translate it. Translate. Okay. And I'm going to put in zeros because I don't know what I want to translate it to yet. And I want to do a cylinder. And I want a cylinder that is, wow, those holes are really small. Let's see, the diameter is going to be really, let's just say 2.5. D equals 2.5. I'm going to make it really tall because I want it to stick out the top regardless of where I put it. Makes it much easier to find. Okay. And the whole thing's that, so let's make it about 40. So when I hit this, oh, I didn't get a parenthesis there. Now let's try it. Okay. You know, and it really isn't round. When you get really small ones, it doesn't get very round. We can make it a little bit more round. I can say comma $FN equals number out of the air. I'm just going to pick 32. Okay, so that's where it is. That's not where I want it. It needs to be translated. So I need to be in the center here. So the center is going to be half of this thickness. The thickness is 12.3. You know, I really don't want to have to do this math all the time. Okay, let's see. It's in the Y direction. So if I come up here in Y, and I want 12.3, half of that, divided by 2. I can do the math right in line. Okay. That's a start. Now, we know that we went over, you know, I'm looking at where the center of this hole is versus the edge, and it almost breaks out. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and I'm going to say it goes over 3 millimeters. So let's see what that looks like. And that is that's actually in the minus X direction. So we're going to take minus X, minus 3. Okay, that looks good. I want this whole thing again, but I want to move it to the other side. So let me just copy this, come down here and paste it again. But this time, instead of minus 3, I want to be plus something. I'm just going to guess it, 20. Not enough. Okay, 22, 23. That's getting closer. Not quite. Let's see. That's 26 too far? 25.5. That looks about right. Okay. But I don't want pegs there. I want holes there. So now I can come up here and I could say, well, the first cube is the big block of everything. We just leave that alone. But if down here, if I come in here and say difference, it's going to take the first thing, which is the plate that's really wide, and then everything else gets subtracted from it. And I need a closing for that. And now when I hit F5, that all goes away and leaves me the 2 holes. Okay, we're not quite done. We're close. I need on the top of this thing, there's the round pieces, and there's actually 2 of them. One of them is kind of centered and is not very big around. It's only about 6 millimeters in diameter. So, and its height, these 2 are both the same height, and it sticks up about 5 millimeters from the top. So, okay, so there's the cube, there's that. I need another piece. I want another cylinder. And I want the D equals 6 millimeters diameter. And I want H equals to whatever that height was of that initial cube plus 5. That's the 22.5 I could see at the top line. Up here, this is 22.5. I want 5 plus that. I can do that in my head. That's 27.5. Okay, 27.5. 7.5. And I know it's going to make it really goofy, so let me go ahead and just put that $FN equals 32. Let's try this. Okay. It does, you know, it's in the wrong spot, so that makes it look really goofy. So I need to translate. Let's see. Let's go over here. Translate. Let me just put in zeros. That didn't change anything. Okay. In the Z direction, no, we're all fine there. And in the Y direction, that's at half. And we did that once before. Because this is 10 millimeters thick, we want to go 5. So let's go 5. No. That's the wrong one. 5. That doesn't look right in the middle. That should be right in the middle. What did we do? Oh, it's 12.3 divided by 2. Ah, yes. 12.3 divided by 2. Ah, that's better. Well, kind of. We need this actually centered. This is the small little hump on the side of this particular one. So what I need to do is, I need that right in the center of the cube. So I got that side centered. The other side centers out at, it's 22.5, so it's going to be 22.5 divided by 2. In the x direction, 22.5 divided by 2. Okay, so there's the one peg. You know, we're starting to get close. So I just need that other piece in there. Okay, so in its diameter, by looking at this, I could see that it's just the same diameter as the whole case, which was that 12.3. So I need another one. We'll have to translate it, I'm sure. And I want a cylinder. D equals, this one's the 12.3. H, it's the same height as the one we just did, so that's 27.5. And let's do that. And what does that give us? That gives it something I can't type. I forgot an equal sign. Okay. Well, it needs to go in the Y direction, that way, just like the other cylinder did, the one above us. So the Y was the 12.3 divided by 2. So let me do that. And now it needs to slide over just until the edge of that cylinder is just flush with the side there. And that side is right at this axis. So, well, if that's a 12.3 diameter, I want to slide it to the x direction, 12.3 divided by 2 also. Let me do that. If I miss this, it'll show up. Okay, so that's the servo. But now I need the little white cappy thing that sticks out the top. Just trying to make it this accurate. And it looks like it sticks up another maybe 3 to 4 millimeters above that, maybe 3.5. So I want the same thing again, just like we did before. So let me just copy this. Copy, paste. But now the diameter is really small. So I want the cube to be right about 5 millimeters in diameter, or the cylinder to be 5 millimeters in diameter. So this goes down to 5. And I want this to stick up a little bit taller. I want it to stick up, what did I say, 3.5? Let's go for 3.5. So I want the 27.5 plus the 3.5. Okay. But it's centered at the same, so the translate should be fine. So, okay. So here's the model of the servo. It looks amazingly like the thing that we just did. And we did it in 12 minutes. So that's not too bad. Now, this would be more useful as a module. So let me just come in here and say module. And I'm going to call it servo. And I'm going to come down here and close it. And then if I hit F5, it all goes away because we really didn't use it yet. But if I say, give me a servo, there's the servo. The only thing that's really kind of inconvenient is it doesn't center the top, the axis right where we want it. We could do that too. We could put this whole thing in another set of brackets. I think this will work. And in here I could put translate. No semicolon because I want it to take that whole thing. It doesn't do anything. But now if I say I want to translate this whole thing in one direction or another, it becomes pretty easy. And I want to go, you know, that's the 23 or 12.3 divided by 2 in both those directions. So let me just, but it's got to go negative. Okay. Minus 12.3 divided by 2 minus 12.3 divided by 2. Okay, so when I go to install it, it'll just fit where I want it to be. Okay, so there's my module. I should save this. This is something that we want to use. File, save as, because we haven't saved this one before. And it's like where? Well, I'm going to go to fall of 20, 102, and I need a new folder. And the one was programs. This is going to be body. And this is robot V1. Okay. Well, that's where I'm going to stop the video here, and I'll upload this body V1 to the files directory on Canvas, so you can download that and change it. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. The problem with my spacing here, let's see here, is it makes the spacing really goofy when I make the text really big, and I like to space it. In fact, I'll just do it while you're watching here. So this is 2 over, that's fine. I want to put this over there. And I space it just kind of like I do with the regular programs. And that allows me to keep track of what's in what level. Oh, this goes 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. That's back. That's back. Okay. And we can put labels in here too. Okay, this double slash is comment, just like before. The robot version 1. And this is 9/4/20. Okay, now I can save again. Okay. We'll stop there. I'll upload this piece of code and